WRDE, Milford, Cincinnati. When I finally was able to do my own show, I wanted it not only just to be fun and entertaining, but inspiring, and to bring Cincinnati into a positive light. Broadcasting from the Queen City, this is Digging Rich Live. Good morning, everybody. Welcome. This is Tuesday, January 20th, 2013. Oh, wait a minute. The 22nd, sorry. January 22nd, 2013. This is Digging Rich Live. I'm, of course, Digging Rich, broadcasting from a very cold and frigid Queen City today. How cold is it here in Cincinnati? Well, the temperature right now, as of 8 o'clock this morning, was 8 degrees. I'm not kidding. 8 degrees. It is freezing outside. So if you are out and about, taking the kids to school, heading to work, I'm going to be heading to work later on this afternoon. Definitely bundle up. This is a bundle up type day, with the high only going to be around 16 to 19 degrees, and then it's going to drop down to single digits yet again, and that's not counting the windshield. So definitely bundle up. I'm still trying to warm up myself. We got a great show today. How great is it? Well, it's Topic You Tuesday, where you have chosen the topics that I talk about. And I just want to thank everybody for sending in all those suggestions, because I have so many topics that I would like to go over. I actually had to break the show into 3 different parts. So this being part 1, part 2 will air at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and part 3 will be broadcast at 10 o'clock. So in case you don't have a chance to make it all 3, don't worry, it'll still be available on the Spreaker.com channel. It'll also be available on the YouTube channel /Redot Entertainment, and the link will also be available on the Facebook page, Digging Rich Live. And again, like I said, a lot of topics we need to go over today. A lot of topics that you guys have sent in that you want me to talk about. And so, that's why we're here. Well, first and foremost, I'm proud to announce our very first sponsor of Digging Rich Live, PD Pro Audio Karaoke, which is like one of the best karaoke companies in Cincinnati. I mean, they have a lot of fun. I'm honored to be a part of them, and I'm thankful for them to be a sponsor of today's show and for future shows. So, special shout out this morning to our sponsor, PD Pro Audio Karaoke, Jimmy, Fat Cat, and Nick. Thank you very much for your support, and look forward to working with you in the future. All right, well, let's get started. Topic You Tuesday, Part 1. We're going to start off with a little bit of sad news today. As most of you have read on my Facebook page, Cincinnati has unfortunately lost a legend yesterday. Very few people know him as Attar. Everyone that's been through downtown Cincinnati, especially in Fountain Square, knows him as the Hat Man. Now, nice old man who expressed his opinions and views with a poster on top of his hat. And let me tell you, some of these posters that he's had has been very cool. I mean, all of them have been awesome, and they range on various topics. From when the World Choir Games were here in Cincinnati, he did a poster based off of that. When full of life, full of energy, a great guy. I mean, always such passion. He had passion for all of his artwork, and I understand that he also had rocks as well. You know, little pet rocks. And I had the privilege of meeting him for the first time when I was volunteering for Midpoint about a couple years ago, Midpoint Music Festival. I mean, one of the nicest guys you could possibly meet. I mean, very down to earth, very cool person. You know, was always upbeat, always in a good mood. And, you know, unfortunately, he did pass away this past weekend, so we are going to miss him. The one thing I was always impressed with Hat Guy is the fact that we have so many ways of expressing our opinions and getting our message across. Social media, Facebook, Twitter, the former MySpace. I know they're trying to come back. And this guy got his message across with a hat, a poster board, and a couple of crayons and markers. So never underestimate any form of communication, because you never know how effective it will be. And I know Hat Guy is walking around heaven right now with his hat underneath his halo, of course. We're going to miss you. And downtown will not be the same without him. I mean, I'm going to walk downtown eventually, and I'm just going to be looking for him, and I'm going to be like, yeah, man. You know, great guy. Very great guy. I mean, that's all I can say about him. And I can say nothing bad about him, because he was absolutely one of the greatest people you can ever meet. So, rest in peace, Hat Guy. Now, I found this out yesterday, and oh boy, and yesterday was just a lot of stuff going on yesterday. Of course, everyone knows it was Martin Luther King Day. You know, celebrating the works of the civil rights leader. He's had such a positive impact across the world and across the country, even through time. I mean, here we are 50 years later after the Civil Rights March, and we have our first African-American president, and we're breaking so many barriers that were never thought possible before. And it was thanks to hardworking people like Martin Luther King. And I say people because it was not just him. I mean, there were many other people who were unsung heroes in the civil rights movement. So it's great that we have Martin Luther King Day, but let's not forget there are many other people that came before Martin Luther King, and there are many other people who helped Martin Luther King in terms of the movement. And there are people today who are still fighting the good fight. So let's take the feeling we had yesterday, and let's continue to have that year around and get involved, get involved for equal rights. And I'm going to go over that in a little more detail in part 2 of Topic U, because there's another important topic in regards to equal rights that a lot of people, especially those listeners here in Ohio, have been wanting me to talk about. So I'm going to go over that later on. But hopefully, if you were off yesterday, you spent time to actually just as simple as a few minutes to reflect on the day and what it means to you. And if you worked yesterday, and again, hopefully you had a moment to think about what yesterday was and what it meant to you and how did it affect you and your family and your friends and loved ones. Now, yesterday was also another important piece of history, because it was the second inauguration of President Obama. And, of course, knowing me, I did, I have to watch history, so I did watch it. They say the crowd wasn't as big as 4 years ago, and it was noticeably smaller, but still a lot of people from all across the country and across the world gathered in Washington, D.C., And it's a big impact. I mean, first off, congratulations to President Obama for his second term. You have a lot of work to do, a lot of work ahead of you. But I'm sure that if we actually came together, we as in government, would actually wake up and get along, I'm sure that this term will be one of hard work, one of sacrifice, but one that will pay off in a positive way for the rest of the country. On a side note, I know everyone's been talking about this, but on a side note, that I'm just in awe of the Obama daughters. I mean, Sasha and Malik. Look how big they've gotten since 4 years ago. I mean, wow, big difference. And of course, they're looking just as beautiful as their parents, which leads me to Michelle, our Madam First Lady. Once again, rocking out the fashion as only she can. I mean, truly stunning. I was a little iffy about the coat, but it worked. It worked for her. And, if anyone's actually taken the time to notice the past 4 years with First Lady Obama, she's got a lot of good fashion sense. And I'm telling you, fashion designers, pay attention. Pay attention. Those of you who are always looking for the next big trend, take a look at First Lady Obama. I mean, she's got it made. She's got it down packed to a T. And I like the hair. A lot of performers performed during the inauguration yesterday. Kelly Clarkson, which she did it pretty well. The Brooklyn Tabernacle Choir, which was, oh my goodness, their rendition was just awe-inspiring. And, of course, Beyonce. Now, I know some of you don't like Beyonce. Some of you are hating on her. Hey, my hat's off to Beyonce. She has a great year coming up. I mean, she was at the inauguration. She's performing at the Super Bowl. She's got a lot going on for herself this year. Big, big projects coming up for Beyonce. So, hey, my hat's off to her. Whether you love her or not, you have to give her credit where credit's due. She is going to have a phenomenal, phenomenal year. And I believe she's also having a baby too. Ooh, I might have just started a rumor here. Uh-oh. Well, speaking of babies, so many people are having babies, and it's just amazing. What's behind the all of a sudden baby boom? That and more when we come back. And welcome back to part 1 of Topic U Tuesday here on Digging Rich Live. I'm Digging Rich. And before the break, I was mentioning the recent baby boom. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I know a lot of friends who are having babies all of a sudden. I mean, it is incredible. I mean, what happened last year? Did you guys really think it was the end of the world? And so, no, I'm just kidding. I'm happy for everyone that's having babies. I mean, this is an exciting time. It's like every time I look at Facebook, every time I talk to someone, another person's having a baby, or they just gave birth to a baby. And it's just, I don't know. I love kids. I really do. So whenever I hear someone's having a baby, I get all excited because it's like, oh, this is awesome. Speaking of babies, I'd like to give a special shout out to one particular baby in particular. Her name's Irma, and she happens to be my niece. Well, I was originally the godfather, but the father of Irma decided that I was so much like family that I was to be Uncle Richard. So, special shout out to Irma. She's going to be turning 1 next month. 1. I just can't believe how big she's gotten. And, of course, a shout out to the parents, Casey and Sarah. I will be there for the first birthday, wherever that may be. And yes, Irma, Uncle Rich is going to have something very special for you. I'm not going to tell you what it is. You probably wouldn't understand if I told you anyway, but I'm not going to say what it is. And off the top of my head, if I forget anybody, I'm sorry. Feel free to curse me out on Facebook, and I promise to shout you out on the next show. A special shout out, of course, to Guy Scott. He's having his first girl soon, and of course, Miss Scott. And also Melissa and Justin down in Texas. You guys having your first kid. I just read about that. Congratulations. Again, anyone else off of the top of my head who I'm forgetting, feel free to yell at me on Facebook. Yell at me on the new Twitter that will be launching that as of tomorrow. And, because I'm old. I'm old. I can't remember everything. So, with that, people are getting babies. People are having babies. People are also getting engaged to be married. I mean, this is quite fun. I mean, really fun. To be, I'm so happy to see two people who fall in love, ready to take that next step and get married. I mean, that's just truly, truly an awesome spectacle. With that said, Congratulations to my former classmate and good buddy, Timothy Christie. He's engaged, so I better get an invite to the wedding. I'm kidding. You don't have to invite me, but it would be nice if you did. In any event, congratulations. And for those people who are not having a baby or who is not getting married or just finding love, hey, congratulations to you guys. As for me, I do have a special somebody. It's true. I'm not going to reveal who that person is. I like to keep it a little hush-hush, but yes, I am involved. That's all I'm going to say for now. And if you're not in a relationship or you're trying to find that special someone, hey, one piece of advice that I can give you is don't give up. I mean, it took me 6-7 years to get involved in a relationship. So some people it takes time. And I think the best person who really gives good advice about the perfect person happens to be Medea. I forget which play it was, but do the research. I mean, I'm sure if you do a search on YouTube for it, but yeah, love does take time. For some people, it's instant. For other people, it takes a while, but it's there. As long as you stay focused and committed and not give up. Well, I'm still freezing, actually. No, I'm kidding. It's actually quite warm here at the Digging Rich Studios, but outside it is... Whew. If Mother Nature was to send a reminder about its winter, this is it. This is the sign right here. So, moving on. I normally don't do sports, but I had a few people request some sports topics, so I can get into sports a little bit. Bigger thing, the baseball All-Star game in 2015 will be in Cincinnati. Now, that's a big thing for Cincinnati. I mean, a huge opportunity to showcase to the entire country how great of a city we are. A huge opportunity for the city of Cincinnati in terms of revenue, because you're going to have all these baseball fans and celebrities embarking on the Queen City. They're going to want to spend money. So this is a great opportunity for Cincinnati, especially downtown. I mean, what a great event that's going to be in 2 years. Another big sports news. Hockey's back. Yeah, hockey. I was shocked when I saw it on the TV screen on Saturday, and the one thing that I was impressed about, even though it's like what is it? And if you're a sports person, please feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I think they're doing a third of a season this year without an All-Star game, if that's correct. Please don't quote me on that. I know it's either way, it is a short season, but from the games that I saw, the stadiums, the arenas were looking pretty packed. I mean, hockey fans packing up the arenas to see their favorite hockey team. So, this sport is far from over. If this weekend is any indication. Also, moving on to football, we now know the two teams that will be playing in this year's Super Bowl: the 49ers and the Ravens. Congratulations to both teams, especially the 49ers. I know you guys I did see that game, and you guys came back and just won. That was just amazing. Ray Lewis from the Ravens, good luck to you. And on a side note, okay, so everyone knows that I'm originally from New York, and everyone knows that I'm not a Patriots fan. This weekend just gave another bullet. Okay, did anyone... Okay, so it's the end of the game. Ravens win, Patriots lose. Did anyone notice Bill Belichick just walk by the CVS reporter as they're trying to get an interview? Tom Brady was nowhere to be found. Oh, jeez, what a bunch of crybabies. I mean, come on. I know you're supposed to go out there to win. I know winning is everything. Yeah, quote. Two Super Bowl appearances in the last 3 or 4 years, and you guys still can't beat the Giants? And you're still pouting and crying like crybabies? Come on. I usually don't go into this type of language, but Bill Belichick, Tom Brady, please grow a sack. A loss is a loss. Okay, yes, granted, it was the championship game. The winner would move on to the Super Bowl. Yes, granted, it was during the playoff season. I understand you guys are upset. Okay, a loss is a loss. Marvin Lewis of the Bengals, his team didn't get past the first round of the playoffs. Did you see him all hissy fit and pouty? No. He accepted the loss, and he's going to take that loss along with the team, and they're going to use that to better themselves for next season. That's what you do. You take the loss as a loss. You congratulate the other team for winning, and you take that experience and make yourselves better for the next game or the next season. Oh, we got minor setback. Did I say too much about the Patriots? Then check out PD Pro Audio Karaoke. For more information, visit them on Facebook, PD Pro Audio. You can also check out their website, pdproaudio.com/karaoke. When you're on the website, you can take a look at the entire list of songs that you can sing that they have available. And if it's something that you don't see, then definitely ask. Don't be afraid to ask, because they are more than willing to look it up for you. Again, special shout out to Jimmy, Nick, and Fat Cat Lisa. You guys are awesome. Thank you for supporting the show. I mean, what more can I say? If you go tomorrow night, well, if you're going tonight to the Kenwood location, again, I cannot stress this enough. Bundle up. It is freezing. It's going to be cold. So you definitely want to make sure you're prepared. That's going to do it for part 1 of Topic U University. Coming up at 9 o'clock on part 2, we'll talk more into President Obama. We'll go into why I'm not watching American Idol. And I may have some I'll have some tax tips for you That way you can be in the know for this year's tax season. And if you'd also like to still submit some topics, you can do so on the Facebook page, facebook.com/DiggingRichLive. You can also hit me up on Ridaad Entertainment, RIDAAD Entertainment, at gmail.com. And once again, the download Spreaker.com app and take Digging Rich Live wherever you go. I'm Digging Rich Live for now. Always put yourself first, and always think positive. I'll see you at 9 o'clock.